This is a post on the Pro Male Collective that we talk about, you know, arguments against porn, and it needs to be rebutted. But this video is more about the fighting against biological reductionism. And if you don't know what that means, it means guys make excuses, or even women make excuses for stopping men from actually changing, getting out of their gender roles, right? Because of these arguments about biology, and evolution. And these are just excuses. For example, there's all kinds of things that women used to do that they're free not to do anymore, or to do if they want, if they couldn't do it before. And we're fine with that. Biology isn't in it. Now, this, don't forget, Empire, let's see, Egalitarian 2020, he talks about these. These are only found among feminists. They're common among conservatives as well. Okay. Porn objectifies women and so forth. Now, I could go through the whole thing, but my main focus is on this guy, lasers, pew, pew, pew. He says, the thing is, porn is inherently destructive for men these days. And I would actually love to see it massively curbed. Holy shoot. This guy wants to prevent men from watching porn. In other words, it's kind of like saying to kids, you only got an hour on watching TV, or more likely an hour playing video games, because it's bad for you, right? This will not be put on to women. It seems to be causing so many problems for young men. This is an assertion. I don't see any problems. And honestly, what he means by that is young men cannot get status to get the girl. And of course, he's not going to blame the opposite sex. He's not going to blame women's habits. He's going to say, well, there's something wrong with guys and they're just watching too much porn. I honestly think it preys a part of the male human nature in an unkind way, just to make money, no matter what damage it does. It's insertion that's doing damage. If this was a problem for women, there would already be laws against it in campaigns. It's not a problem for women because no one cares what women do. If there's a woman who comes home from work and rubs one out, or I should say, rubs constantly over porn for like 4 hours straight, she's a single woman, nobody cares. She's allowed to do that. And no one says it's hurting her brain. Look how they've managed to make Instagram, etc., change the like dysfunctions on their apps to not show numbers of likes, etc. Who cares? No one is even talking about the fact that pork, I think he meant about porn, is designed to be highly addictive, specifically for young men, and damaging it is causing. It's not designed to be addictive. It's designed to turn guys on and satisfy their needs. And anything that tastes good is addictive to a certain degree. It's just like eating junk food, I guess, is addictive. Only junk food is actually really is destructive. A man does have limits, by the way. He exhausts himself, so he's only going to do it a couple times in a day tops anyway. Now, he said, now, Empire of Dust points out that feminists want to curb the easy availability of porn, which is true, even fictional porn, drawings, 3D animation, etc., because they see the availability of pornography as an opposing force to their social dominance, which sexuality is no doubt plays a large part. He's right. The only forms of pornography I would be against would be forms which used by women to be predatory upon vulnerable men with the intention of scamming them out of money. Yes, thank you, Empire of Dust. That's very good. Now, Laser Pew Pew Pew, great name. This doesn't sink in for him. says, I think it should be banned outright. Well, he's talking about the predatory stuff. Okay. The reason I think that it affects men is the same reason all super addictive HD porn is that it's so extreme, is addictive to young men, a la Goodage response curve, I think it's called. I'm sure I'm getting the name of the psychological phenomenon wrong, but oh well. It's all about novelty seeking and addiction in terms of something as powerful as force of sex drive over men. Jeez. The psychological system built into men for survival of the species, there you go, biological reductionism, and what is being manipulated and hacked to make porn industry so much money. This, oh my God, where do I start? Let's say, and it needs to be acknowledged, then banned. He wants to ban pornography for men. There you go. That's what it is. This guy wants this girl, and he can't get the girl. And so he's projecting his hangups onto other men. All other men have to be banned. What if a guy looks at like two laser pew 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 and say, look, I love my porn. I'm not interested in being limited, right? I'm not interested in being limited. Laser here wants that man limited just because he has hangups, which is exactly what tradcons do, which is what feminists do. It's just like MGTOWs, basically. A lot of MGTOWs think this. The same thing is what people trying to do with social media because it's how it's affecting girls. I've never heard of people talking about banning anything, social media from girls. Well, no one gives a shit about young men, boys, and it's fucking ridiculous. I don't know he's talking about that. I've never heard of it. I've heard people complain about social media because guess what? It gives women choices, and women choose not to deal with men because they've never wanted to deal with men, right? And so I'm not against that freedom. I don't want women coming to me and having fake attention because they can't get on social media and get their attention there. I don't want that. I'm even warning him about posting biological reductionism. It isn't allowed. No excuses to curb men's freedom via fake concern over survival priorities. If we're survival priorities, why aren't society forcing men to give birth to children? Have sex? They're not. So this is nothing to do with survival of the species. He says sex drive is literally built into the species, isn't it? See, now he's doing it again. It's pretty hard to ignore since it's a big part of our lives and focus on young men. So if he believes this, why aren't we backing the incels that suggest that government should force women to have sex with men? I'm not talking about curbing men's freedom of choice. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He's talking about banning porn. I'm talking about curbing the freedom of people who are using technology tricks to create addicts of their own profit. This is a huge difference. No, he's not. Because if these guys are giving me the freedom, no one's forcing me, for example, to go to Pornhub. So if I'm going to Pornhub, it's because I want to go to Pornhub. It says, let's see, Pornhub does not addict men any more than women. That's me. So this is concern trolling to push to stop men from enjoying pornography freely. We do not believe in NoFap here, which is true. Now he says, Empire of Dust. The purpose of technology is to allow us to indulge in our desires without facing any of the consequences. Yes, your line of thinking is too short-sighted. All leads to furthering the social dominance of women. Actually, I don't think it's short-sighted. I think he has real hang-ups about not getting his girl in his life, and he wants to affect all men negatively. Okay. No technology has no grand purpose, only what people are using it for. Exactly. So If someone is using it for that reason, fine, but there has to be a line where technology is becoming damaging. No. I guess, well, I don't want to get bogged down in that. Porn has way crossed the line for years. What is he talking about? It is wreaking damage on minds and success of young men everywhere. There we go. This is what this is about. He can't get success himself and then bribe some woman as suicide. So his idea is that instead of just showing that, women just are deselecting men because that's their preferences, that don't blame the women, blame pornography and blame men. If guys aren't running out and getting jobs and getting enough to bribe this woman for her fake love, it's got to be, that's a problem. It's got to be that men have failed, right? It's destroying the confidence of making them put girls as these aliens on a pedestal shit. I mean, what the hell is he talking about? Pornography does not destroy men's confidence. Instead of actually interacting with them, there he is, there's again. So what man who's been rejected 1,000 times by girls and has an outlet through porn wants to throw that outlet away and just go back for continual rejection? Destroying countless men's ability to have healthy relationships. There it is. This is a relationship concern troll, right? If he's implying that relationships were good and that porn is ruining them, and it isn't. Relationships got ruined on their own because they were never any good. Exactly. They say, how the fuck does curbing this shit help the dumb? That's not my concern. How the fuck am I being short-sighted here? Well, it's been explained, right? We're clearly putting the idea that curbing this type of form would help feminist goals. Therefore, it's bad. Fuck it. Well, it's part of their goals, right? So it would be helping. Regardless of the fact it would actually be incredibly good for men. No, that's just a bare assertion that's false. Probably more so than anything else, society at the moment, we could curb very quickly and easily with political pressure on the Americans. Problem is America. Other countries have what porn laws they want. It won't make a blind bit of difference if Americans are skewing everything for extreme. Okay, so he wants to put limitations on America. America, above almost any other country, needs porn. Let's see. Less of the super addictive and psychologically damning porn, he's saying it again, equals healthier and more confident young men. No, it doesn't. God. With less problems with shame about their sexuality. How would get rid of porn get rid of the shame of men's sexuality? Is porn going to stop, like, let's say, the comic book cons with young men getting kicked out because, they looked at one of the cosplayers and she didn't like it? Is that going to get rid of porn? Going to get rid of that, resolve that issue? Better grades in school and better work outcomes. There it is. Guys aren't succeeding at getting that girl again. And we already know that when female teachers downgrade boys. So how's lack of porn going to stop that? Since all the sexual energy can be directed towards healthier things, this is what pisses me off the most. His view of healthier things is actually chasing the opposite sex. I don't consider that healthy, especially nowadays, especially in the modern era. Chasing the opposite sex just drains men of their money and their wealth and their sanity. So this guy is completely off. He's completely. Now, there's actually, I wanted to say one more thing. This is about someone saying that porn makes addicted to porn and creates dead bedroom. I'm mucking that up there. I'm trying to quote it. And one thing you forgot to add, those bedrooms were most likely dead already, as women do not prioritize copulation with their sexual partners. Yeah, I'll expand on that. They talk about dead bedrooms. They're trying to blame it on porn. But you know something? If your sexual partner, your female sexual partners love sex, you're going to have it. And if she's a cold fish, you're not going to have it. Dead bedrooms are caused by female preference and desires or lack thereof. And this is why this is so typical. Instead of looking at women saying, well, you know, you married some woman, she doesn't care about sex that much or at all. Or if she does, maybe she's getting it on the side. She doesn't want sex with you. She married you or has you as a boyfriend so you can bring her an income. And she actually, you know, maybe is sexually attracted to some other guy. Right? So, of course, that is not going to be blamed on the women. What's going to be blamed is porn. You know, there's something wrong with you. You're just not good enough man to satisfy your woman. That's all it is. And of course, this is why guys like lasers, pew, 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 we ban guys like this. He has been banned. We don't want guys like this in our spaces. Matter of fact, we even have a rule. Let's see if I can find it here. Leave your baggage from other online spaces at the door. Leave your baggage behind. We should have another rule where hopefully we'll add another one, no biological reductionism. And I say add no fat, no fat. None of this bullshit of blaming men for women's preferences. Okay, that's all we have to say about that.